Hi folks, here we are in Auburn, Indiana, home of the Auburn Duesenberg Museum and the National Truck Museum here. So we're going to take you through a little tour through there. This is one of the original buildings they had from the 1930s. And we're going to jump in there and show you what they have. Well, I just came in here to the Auburn Duesenberg Museum. They give you this little brochure to find your way around. This is one of the original showrooms here. Just a spectacular building. There's also the National Truck and Automobile Museum, so we'll catch that too. That's got some more modern stuff and concept cars, things like that, but this is all the big classics in here. So we'll kind of walk through them and show you what we can. Sometimes in museums it's hard to talk a lot, but we'll talk a little bit. So this one's a 37 Cord 812. Now the classic era is the best stuff ever built, in my opinion, in the 1930s. They had to make up for the Depression, make everything as good as they could so they could actually get some stuff sold. But this stuff here was all high-end items. Look at all the mascots here. Duesenberg was pretty much the top American car, I would say, ever built. All kinds of really nice mascots in there. Even got a Gardner Griffin there. We had a Gardner one time. The last time I was here was about, probably, just trying to think, probably about 30 years ago with my dad. We stopped through here on one of our trips from New Hampshire to South Dakota. Look at this nice little 3-window coupe here. This one's an Auburn. (1932). Some of the plaques I'll show just so you can pause on there if you want and get some information off of there. We've got a 1930 Cadillac V16 here. That's top Cadillac model right there. That one's a big coupe. Got the V16 engine. Look at the airplane in here even. Spectacular. They also have big car auctions and car shows here in Auburn, Indiana. It's kind of the home to a lot of car stuff. Kind of hard when we get it against the glass here to get the camera to adjust, but we'll do the best we can on this side here. So this one is a Stinson, 1933. This is a friend of mine in South Dakota and I found one of these one time. This one's a 1933. I think the one we found was in the 40s, but it was the same brand of Stinson. The one we found did not have a motor, but we got it out of an old shed and sold it to another guy that had a museum, and he was going to put it in there. That's the only airplane I've ever, well, real airplane. I've got a lot of toy airplanes, but the only real airplane I've ever been a part of buying or anything, or finding. Now here is a Duesenberg. Now this is top notch right here. These were very expensive when they were new. Mostly doctors, lawyers, actors, actresses, people like that had them top people because they just cost so much. Not the average person could buy one. Look at the taillight on this thing. Those taillights are about as big as a headlight on a lot of cars. This is a dual cowl Phaeton here. This one's 1934. Here's another really nice Cord here. This one looks like a front-wheel drive. Cord had the first front-wheel drive. You can check out you can see the drive axles in there, and right in the center there's where your gears are for the axle. So it's the first front-wheel drive car. It took a long time to get front-wheel drives right. So back then they had to be built like a battleship pretty much. But today, a lot of cars are front-wheel drive. This one's 1930 Cabriolet right there. Here's an Auburn here. This one's a 1936. 852 Phaeton. This is a supercharged Auburn. You can see right there, supercharger. The details on these cars are amazing. Now this one's a right-hand drive, that's unusual. There's a Lycoming marine engine. A lot of cars use Lycoming engines and stuff. This one's a cutaway. See if I can get in there closer to... That sun is really causing problems there in the window, but it's kind of interesting. Here's a 1933 Auburn. Right there. The styling on these is just spectacular. I think we'll probably see a boat tail Auburn here, and that's one of my all-time favorites, the boat tail Speedster. These kind of cars, you know, it's like Clark Gable and people like that are the ones that owned them. It would be the comparison to like a Lamborghini or Ferrari or something today. Here's another Cord here. These have a nickname as a coffin nose Cord. I'll show you the front, you can see why. These are also front wheel drive. But the nose of it looks like a coffin, kinda. And the Cord is what Tom Mix was killed in, the old 1930s era cowboy actor. He was killed in one of these. Look in there, look at the banjo steering wheel. Notice the shifter off of the column. Nice looking dash. Here's another Duesenberg here. Duesenbergs, most of them are multi-million-dollar cars today. This one's a 1931 Beverly sedan here. Get a little closer to read that. And we got another Duesenberg over here. This one's a 1930 convertible sedan. It's where you get the saying, it's a doozy. That means it's top notch. It's a good one. This has an upper floor here too. I believe the other part of the museum does too, the National Trucking and Automobile Museum there. Here's another Cord here. Notice the different headlights on this one and the different top. Only 3 of them were produced with hardtop coupes. Tell some information on them there. You can pause that and read it. It's a great car. Look at the Art Deco entrance to the building. Just the building itself is really cool. Look at the lighting, the ceilings. Here's some more mascots and ornaments here. There's a Franklin. I have one of these like this. Some Cadillac ones and different. Look at that one. That's a nice Cadillac one there. Well, they got some really cool stuff here. See, even the stairway. Just great architecture here. Here's a 1926 Duesenberg Model A chassis. That's one of their older models. We'll get to the other side and get the sun behind us. Just a fantastic piece of engineering. Look at all the aluminum used. The frame is like a tank. Here's a engine that's been modified for racing. Look at the dual carbs. And this is back in the 1920s they were doing this stuff. They were way ahead of their time. Look at the header on there. There's the information on that one. Got some more mascots here. Look at the Studebaker Goddess. I always like the Pierce Arrow Archer. Those are cool. Here's a 1921 Duesenberg. This is an earlier one. It's got quite a body style on there, a big coupe. See if I can get over here to lighten it up a little for you. Here's a 1930 L29 Cord, another front wheel drive one. See the pumpkin on the front there? Look at the style of this car though, it's fantastic. I really like classic cars, you know. People use that term loosely, like with 57 Chevys and stuff, but true classics are maybe because the windshield doesn't fold. Well, before we go up the stairs, we're going to show you this one because that wedding party appears to be gone. This one's a 1932 Auburn. This one looks like an amazing survivor too. Really great condition, looks like original paint. See the old tires on there surviving. This one tells you a little bit why we preserve original cars. You know, not everything needs to look like new. They have patina to them, history to them, and they're only original once. So many things back in the 80s and 90s got restored, not just old cars, but old toys, bicycles, all that kind of stuff, and now people want the old paint. So the ones in old paint are worth 4 or 5 times more than the repainted ones. Well, here's the stairway. We'll catch up with you up top here. And here's one of the cars it could go into, 38 Packard right there. Look at the size of the body on that Packard. Even the wheels, look at the big bulbous wheels. I think Packard was one of the first cars to use, or probably the first car to use, a balloon tire. And you see how big those tires are. Sorry, I got a little nagging cough here and there. Here's another Auburn. This is a lesser model. Notice the wooden wheels and a smaller stature. This one's 1927. And here's a 1925 Phaeton here. I'm going to spin over here, and these two here, this is a great pair right here. Look at the Auburn and the Ruxton. There's some information on the 1930 Ruxton. This car cost $3,200 new. Look at the styling on this. So I'll get to the side here. See how low that is? No running boards because you're down low to the ground. And here, oh, I was wrong. This one's a Cord. This one's not an Auburn. I was thinking it was an Auburn from a distance, but it's a Cord. So we got to continue to look for the Auburn boat tail. This one is a Cord boat tail, so it has the front wheel drive. Look at the styling on that. Notice the torpedo fender here. Step back. Look at the door hinges on it even. Give you a side view of this one. So I got to continue to look for the Auburn boat tail. I would assume they have one. Oh, I think I see one. I think I see a same color back there. It's yellow and red through the glass. Wow, look at that one. This one's a Cord convertible sedan. They're calling it a Phaeton, but sure looks like a convertible sedan to me. L29. But anyway, it's a 4-door convertible basically. And we got a Packard over here, 1930 Packard, model 745. We helped a friend of ours sell one similar to this. This one's a convertible Victoria. His was a convertible coupe, but a similar car. You can see what they look like all done. Really nice. There's your Packard styling in the front. The headlights in, the grill all have that shape. And there's a couple Auburns over here, smaller body ones. This one's a 1934. Notice the price difference on these smaller body ones. This one was $945 compared to that other one over there that was $8,000 in 1926. Much larger car though. This one's a sedan here, 33 Auburn. Here's a Roadster here. This is an older one. That one's probably a, I don't see the year on it, but probably a 27 or 8 or something. A little bit older Roadster. That's what they called these out in the back there. So in case you didn't like your mother-in-law, you could put her back there and have a little distance. Here's a 1909 McIntyre. That one's a truck. Looks like it's a right-hand drive, like a pickup truck. Oh, this one's nice. Look at the tall, hard rubber tires on a car. That's interesting. I guess McIntyre is maybe how they pronounce that. Tell some information on that one. Now we'll jump over to the other room from here. This room's got quite a few engines in here. Some of these are pretty impressive. Look at the dual carbs up on there. This is a V12, Auburn V12. This thing's wild. Look at this one over here. This one's a monster. This on the wall here, it tells all the engine development history and timeline. That's pretty cool. You could spend a couple days here just going around trying to catch all the information. This is a V16 Duesenberg engine, and it's an aircraft engine. You can see right there, during World War I. Tells some of the information there. 3,400 cubic inches. 800 horsepower at 1,800 RPM. That's pretty impressive for back then. This is a cool cutaway of a carburetor here. There's a dual ratio cutaway there. A lot of cool mechanical stuff in here. There's a whole chassis here. This is the front wheel drive. You can see how the engine's in there, what looks like backwards, comes out to the gears. So that shows you the Cord front wheel drive. This is out of an L29. And look at the shifter handle. Starts way back there, goes all the way down the engine, way out here to your transmissions down in there. Pretty wild. There's a little boat tail speedster here. There's the information on that one. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. It's a 1911. Because I'm sure I'll be wrong on that. We'll jump into this next room. Well, we got a few older ones in this room up here. It's 1924 Auburn here. Looks like it's got a California style top on that one. Here's a 1922 Auburn. It's a good video to show you too the progression of this company from these older ones to the later ones they did. A friend of ours out in South Dakota has one similar to this. This one's 1911. Notice all the brass on it and stuff. These are mostly Auburns in this room. 1917 Phaeton. Here's a little roadster. This one's a 1919. Here's a 1923. This one's a sedan. Look at the styling of this. They got the room all decorated too. Even the posts are all carpeted. Yeah, this is like a California top here on this one too. Looks like a Phaeton, but I don't think that top doesn't go down. Some information on that one.
Good morning.
They also tell this year in history on their signs as to what was going on around the world at that time that the car was made. So this one's 1912. Look at that speedster. That'd be a fun one to drive, right-hand drive. This one's wild. Look at all the wood in this. Even the window frames that go up and down are wood. It's a right-hand drive. Look at the detail to the interior there. Much of that's original too. I can show you closer. Look at that interior fabric. It's got the bud vases up in there for flowers. Even the windshield frames are wood and they fold out. That one's 1912. Town car. Well, we're walking in the next room here, and this is all about speed in here. Shows a lot of the race cars and sporty models. You are in Indiana, so that's home of the Indianapolis 500. And Duesenberg was well known in the race world back then. This is a sporty one here. Look at the coil coming out of the radiator there to, I guess if it got hot, it'd boil out there. It's kind of wild. So this one's an Auburn boat tail here. So this is finally one of the Auburn boat tails I've been talking about. I got fooled by that cord one earlier. But here's an Auburn. Sure everybody recognizes this one, Corvette right there. Corvette Roadster. It's a 54. Some early time racing stuff here. That's an Auburn there. Here's an Indy show car, 2003. Aha, I knew we'd see one all done up. This is another Auburn boat tail speedster. This is the one that's my favorite classic car. I'm going to show you some details on this. This one has an original interior. You can see the wear on it in the corners. Kind of a nice survivor. There's the boat tail on the back. Just a spectacular body design. Great car. Get a view of the front. Got the nice wire wheels, chrome headlights. And they got this called Gasoline Alley. This is like an old style garage right here. See the old tools and the jack, and look at the drill press here. Electric motor, belt drive. Old oil cans and stuff. Now if you come here yourself, you can see all this history There's all kinds of movies you can watch here and history on the walls. But this would be the garage where they'd work on them. This kind of shows you some of the tools and the connecting rods there. So from here we're going to jump over to the other part of the museum, which has the National Automobile and Truck Museum, which has some more modern stuff and muscle cars and stuff, I'm sure. Well, here we are in the National Automobile and Truck Museum here. This is adjacent to the Duesenberg Museum, Auburn Cord Duesenberg. This is actually where they made the cords back in here. This is actually the factory where they made them. I think he said they opened this in 1928. So this has got all kinds of muscle cars and later stuff. The Duesenberg area has all the older classics. There's a Hemi Cuda there. So we're gonna have to go kind of quick here because we're limited on time. But we'll take a quick run through here. They close at 5 and I got here kind of late. There's quite a few Auburns and cords and stuff in those garages. All kinds of muscle cars and 57 Chevys and all kinds of stuff down in through here. Corvettes, Cuda. Look at the old neon sign here. That's pretty cool. He was telling me they have a 6,000 die-cast car collection in the other room. We're not going to catch that, but kind of interesting. If you get down here, you can check it out. There's an old GM shell truck, fuel tanker. There's something you won't see every day, an old AC Mac. That one's 1925. Bulldog Mac, they call them. There's a street rod cab over, Ford cab over here. Look at the auto carrier. This is a white 3000 with a auto carrier body on it. It's even got a sleeper cab on there. That's cool. 1956. There's the Ford cab over. I've got one of these for sale. Needs to be restored. I think mine's a 46. There's a Rio, early Rio. This is a Model A here. Sedan delivery, another little Model A. These are, I think these are all Model A's in this aisle. This one's a Roadster pickup. Oh, and this one's a wide bed, I believe, here with the steel. No, this doesn't have the steel top, but it's got the wide bed. I have one that's a 31 steel top wide bed in our place if anybody's interested. It's a project truck. There's a Chrysler, 62 Chrysler. Boy, they got some impressive stuff in here. Look at the Hudsons over here. A couple step down Hudson convertible here, 4-door. This convertible's a 51 pacemaker. Nice coupe back there. Got a couple scooters here. This one's a Cushman. Look at the old soapbox derby cars. So you can see why, you'd want to come here. There's the whole Auburn Cord Deusenberg Museum, and then there's this Auto and Truck Museum. And I think it's $25 to do both. Look at the 59 Caddy convertible here. Show you the tail fins on that. It's wild. That's the ultimate in 50s right there. Well, got a few race cars over here, old stock cars and stuff. We're going to show you this Futureliner. This is the GM Futureliner. The guy on the way in said this is a $4 million vehicle here. These were made for the Parade of Progress here.
I'm a graduate of the University of Michigan.
Look at the original trunk there.
General Motors on the Parade of Progress. The parade
These are all the
started
ones they
in
had.
1936 to showcase the world of tomorrow.
Tells all the history of it
The
here.
man who sparked General Motors'
Not too many of these survived,
Parade of Progress was none
but they
other
made
than
a few of
Charles
them, but
F.
I don't
Kettering.
think a lot of them survived.
Boss Cat was GM's
I don't know if that's the one I've seen. I've seen one at the Hershey swap meet. I'm not sure if it's the same one or another one. I'll show you the front end of it here. It's wild. Look at that. Very wild. There's a Mercury Cougar there. There's a 67 Chevy Impala convertible there. Firebird. Really, I probably should have thought this out and made a second video of this place, but we'll just include them all together. This would take you hours to go through here too, but we'll just give you a quick shot of it here. A Corvair here, a Mustang convertible. The old Dodge race car here, 400 horsepower. This one's a Richard Petty style car here, number 43. Look at the old A1 sign there, that's pretty neat. A couple Mustangs here. There's a Torino race car here. 427 cubic inch. Thunderbird here. This one's a 55 T-Bird right there. There's some Tucker stuff there, Tucker seat covers, hubcaps. There's a couple more Auburns in here. Got a lot of nice old gas pumps and stuff. Look at the old diner over there. There's another L29 Cord. Ooh, that's a nice gas pump there. I think that's called a Roman column. It's a Wayne gas pump. Looks like they've been moving a few things around. I think that's Kaiser Darren there. Here's another L29 Cord. Here's another early car here. See what manufacturer this is, if it's an Auburn or what. Ford. It's a 1903 Ford right there. Well, we're gonna go check out the truck room. Well, we came down into the basement here. This is what they call the truck area. This is kind of more of the stuff we deal in. A lot of old trucks, we get parts and pieces. These are a couple internationals. 33 here, and a 36. This is a later international here. This is wild. And you can read the information there if you want to. You can pause it. Look at all the old curbside pumps here. I've got a few of these myself. They got some air pumps here too. Oh, look at the drag car here. Funny car. Here's a 1940 Chevy pickup. Got a Studebaker pickup there. That looks like four-wheel drive probably. It's sitting up pretty high. Yep, that one's a four-wheel drive. Studebaker long box. Got a little Crosley pickup here. Couple Chevys here. This one's a 46. It shows you how they change. You got just in 1 year. This one's a 49, but they started making these in 47. There's the Graham Brothers. Here's a GMC truck. You can see the difference in the grille here for the GMC. couple internationals here. And this is a monster here. Big international crew cab truck here, turned into a pickup. This is unusual, little Willys Jeep. Got a North Dakota plate on there. Jeep, but it's got a dump body on it. Don't imagine you could haul much weight with that. There's some military trucks, World War II era. I've got a 6x6 GMC we've got in the inventory now if anybody's interested, wants to restore one. It's a good solid truck. There's a Dodge Power Wagon there. Pickup truck. Well, we'll jump around this side of the aisle. There's a Chevy truck here. Look at the Wonder Bread truck, that's really cool. It must be built off a Ford. It's got a Ford truck grill in it. That's something you won't see too many of surviving. A lot of those got wrecked. They got some big semi trucks here too. There's a B-Mac over here. There's a cutaway of a 7.3 diesel. This is a B-Mac here. Big international. Boy, that one you could hardly get in here. Just about scraping the lights there. So this was their innovation area downstairs when they had the cord manufacturing here. They manufactured them upstairs. This was an area down here where they didn't allow people because they were trying to innovate stuff. These are the original buildings. Here's another Power Wagon here. Oh, here's a Model A fuel truck here. We get a lot of these. This is a big series KB. See what year this one is, 47, KB6. They use the old style cab, the bigger nose on them. There's another home heating fuel. This one's a Chevrolet. Gulf, that's pretty cool. I got a whole bunch of these. Here's a Texaco, this one's a Diamond T. That one's got a Diamond T truck on it. There's a Standard Oil. This one looks like a Model A, Ford. Here's a real early one here. Even got a roof for the driver, stay dry. Polarine, Standard Oil Company. Oh, I'll have to, my dad will like seeing this video. He's got one of these rototillers. This is a real rototiller. That was the brand name rototiller. And here's a cutaway. My grandfather bought it brand new. Cost a lot of money back in the 40s. And we've still got it. It still operates. Tilled the garden a couple years ago with it. But this is cool with all the cutaway stuff on it here. Shows the tines and stuff on the back. And this is what they look like all together with the, this one's a wide one here. This one's a smaller model with a skinnier deck on the back. I'll have to come here again sometime when I can slow down and make multiple videos here because this is way too big. I got here with about an hour and 50 minutes to do these two big museums, and there's hundreds of vehicles here. So, you know, bear with me that I'm kind of rushing on these because I got about 10 minutes before I gotta get out of here. They'll kick me out. There's a white semi, and these two are big KB Internationals. Gotta check out the bus over here. Got a cool bus. Aluminum body on it. Looks like all original. Got some rust up there in the fenders. Oh, it's called a Kenworth emergency rescue car. Looks like a bus, but it's some sort of rescue car, I guess. That's interesting. Right there, 1939 Kenworth from the Portland, Oregon Fire Department. Huh. There's an old machine shop there. We got some really early vehicles here. Look at the meat market. This one's a 1910. McIntyre's. This one's a 1911. Look at the police vehicle here. This one's right-hand drive. This one's a Kirsch, 1911 Kirsch. That's pretty impressive. There's a little truck here, 1919 VIM. See the information on that one. There's a big semi here, a model of one. And here's a scale model of a 69 International Travelall. It's interesting. Quite a few different engines here on display. A lot of toy trucks in these cases. This one's a scale model too, just a real big one. It's an 87 International 8300. There's another Model A fuel truck here, 1930 Ford. Oh, look at the Borden's, International Borden's truck here. Dairy products, little milk truck. Catch a couple over here, then we'll catch that last aisle because we got to get out of here. Got a couple fire trucks here, International one on the back. We got a lot of Internationals here, different models and years. This one's American LaFrance fire truck. Got a couple Model Ts here. All kinds of die-cast tractors and stuff over there. Oh, look at the International Travelall back there, and here's a Scout up closer. They got some nice scale models of early farm machinery. See all those? So if you're into toy tractors, look at the impressive collection of them here. Even got a nice sign there, Farm Hall. Here's a big International. Oh, this is interesting. Here's a 1979 Chrysler Snow Runner. There's one of those in our hometown of Murdo, South Dakota at Pioneer Auto. They got a lot of interesting stuff there. Not as big as this, but for a personally owned collection in a small town, it's a pretty impressive place, so well worth the visit if you're out in the South Dakota area. Here's a Moreland, 1929 Moreland. These are some older trucks over in this area. Oh, I'm looking for some Dodges, but this one's a Fargo. 1942 Fargo, that's a Canadian Dodge there. Got a Studebaker truck. Big International here. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We're getting towards the tail end of it. We're just going to walk down these few. Here's a Noble, a couple Nobles. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please give us good comments. Tell us what you want to see. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, because all these things help our videos and will enable us to do more of them. We get all over the country, we get to some cool stuff. So, you know, we do swap meets, auctions. Here's a 1926 Acme. Junkyards, barn finds, do a few Willet runs here and there, because we got our own stuff we're working on too. We do auctions, museums, anything automotive. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll finish this video down here on these last few. Oh, we haven't seen these in here yet. These are internationals with the shovel nose. These three right here. 1915 and a 17. Notice the radiator is back there because they get that shovel nose. They're not out front. This is an international too. 1914. And here's an international high wheeler right here. See the IHC on the front. And another one, they call them Pioneer wagons. And yet another one. Boy, they got quite a collection of them. Oh, look at the old snow thrower here. There's an Oneida truck and an International. This one's got the old, it's got the generator on the back and the snow thrower on the front, kind of a wooden cab on it. That's wild. And we'll end it over here with this International panel truck. This is very nice. And there's a few pedal cars here. This is a great looking International. These are really nice looking trucks. They got a lot of wood in them, like a Chevy does, but nice looking. It's a 36. And then we got a few pedal cars here. Got a kid working on that one. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and catch us on our next round. I don't know what'll be next. We're just getting back from this road trip, so we'll do a few of these ones that we did out in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And then we'll see what else we can get into. Thank you.